Have you ever imagined someone spending their entire life on top of a 40-meter-high stone pillar? No bridge, no road, just sky, stone, and solitude? Or ancient monasteries suspended from sheer cliffs, where one wrong step could mean a fall into the abyss? Across the world, from the icy edges of Ireland to the deep, whispering forests of Myanmar to the sunlit cliffs of Greece, stand structures that defy reason and gravity. But these are more than just buildings. They are testaments to faith, to perseverance, to the endless human drive to reach beyond limits. In today's video, we'll explore 9 suspended-in-the-sky sanctuaries, sacred, dangerous, and breathtakingly beautiful.
1. Meteora Monastery, Greece.
High above the valley floor in central Greece, massive sandstone pillars pierce the sky. Atop them, perched like eagles' nests, are the Meteora Monasteries. Once numbering 24, only 6 remain today, clinging to cliffs up to 400 meters high. Built in the 14th century, these Orthodox sanctuaries were more than places of worship. They were fortresses of faith, hidden in the clouds to escape the Turkish invasions. The name Meteora literally means suspended in the sky. Back then, there were no stairs, no paths, only rope nets and pulleys, where monks and even building materials were hoisted up by hand. A single trip could take half a day, with every moment hanging between heaven and a deadly fall. Today, stone staircases lead the way, but the spirit of isolation, devotion, and perseverance still echoes across these heights. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of the most awe-inspiring symbols of spiritual endurance on Earth.
2. Samela Monastery, Turkey.
Tucked into the sheer cliffs of Karadağ Mountain, 1,200 meters above the forest floor, stands a monastery that looks like it was carved straight from the rock. This is Samela Monastery, an ancient Greek Orthodox sanctuary founded in the 4th century. Rising out of the stone like a natural extension of the mountain, it sits hidden in the mists, surrounded by dense, untamed forest. Legend says that 2 Athenian monks were guided here, after a vision of the Virgin Mary appeared to them. They followed that divine sign and built this monastery in one of the most unreachable places on Earth. Inside, a miracle of art has survived the ages. A fresco of the Virgin Mary, preserved for over 1,600 years, still intact despite centuries of war, conquest, and time itself. This is not just a monastery, it is a vision in stone, a message written into the mountainside, of devotion, resilience, and sacred mystery.
3. Hanging Monastery, China.
Clinging to a sheer vertical cliff on Mount Hengshan, the Hanging Temple seems to defy gravity itself. Built entirely of wood, its delicate structure is supported by a series of beams driven straight into the rock face, a feat of engineering and of faith. What makes this temple truly unique is its spiritual inclusiveness. It is one of the rare places where Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism are worshipped together, a powerful symbol of harmony between the 3 teachings. This incredible sanctuary was first built over 1,500 years ago by a solitary hermit named Liao Ran during the Northern Wei dynasty. He lived, meditated, and slowly began constructing the temple, not with machines, but with pure human will and devotion. Even today, it stands not only as a marvel of architecture, but as a testament to unity between religions, between humans and nature, between earth and sky.
4. Catski Pillar Chapel, Georgia.
Perched on top of a natural stone column, 40 meters high, stands a tiny chapel and the life of one solitary monk. This is the Catski Pillar. Here, far above the ground, only one monk lives in silence and solitude, meditating between earth and sky. There is no road, no path, only a vertical ladder, clinging to the side of the pillar like a lifeline to the heavens. Long ago, this towering rock was worshipped as a symbol of fertility and divine life force. But for over 25 years, Father Maxim Kavtaradze has made it his spiritual home, descending just a few times a year. He has chosen a life of austerity to be closer to God and farther from the world, a place of extreme isolation and extraordinary faith.
Five, Skellig Michael Monastery, Ireland.
Rising from the stormy waters of the Atlantic Ocean, a jagged island of stone, seemingly untouched by time. This is Skellig Michael. At its peak stands one of the oldest monastic settlements in Europe, built in the 6th century. The journey here is not easy. The island can only be reached by boat, and only when the seas are calm. In those early days, Christian monks fled the distractions of the world, seeking a life of purity and closeness to God. Here, on this remote rock, they lived in stone huts, grew their own food, prayed, and hand-wrote sacred texts, enduring some of the harshest conditions imaginable. The monastery was eventually abandoned after the 12th century, but centuries later, Skellig Michael would return to the spotlight. In the 21st century, this windswept island became known to millions as the hidden refuge of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. But long before Hollywood, it was a symbol of faith, endurance, and the power of isolation to bring people closer to the divine.
6. Saint Michel d'Aiguille Cathedral, France.
In the quiet town of Le Puy-en-Velay, a narrow volcanic spire rises toward the heavens, 85 meters high. Balanced at its peak is a tiny church, Saint Michel d'Aiguille. Built in the 10th century, this sanctuary can only be reached by climbing 268 stone steps, winding up the lava rock needle like a path to the sky. Its story began with a pilgrimage. A bishop named Godescalc returned from Jerusalem and built the chapel as an offering of gratitude, a thank you carved into stone. For centuries, the ancient volcano beneath it has been seen as a pillar of heaven, a sacred point where earth, sky, and spirit connect. Today, Saint Michel still stands, delicate yet enduring, a quiet miracle above the rooftops, reminding us how far people will go to reach something greater than themselves.
7. Tongkalit Temple, Myanmar.
Rising sharply from the plains of central Myanmar, perched atop the mouth of an extinct volcano, stands the breathtaking Tongkalit Temple. This sacred site is one of the most important centers of Nat worship, a spiritual tradition unique to Myanmar, honoring 37 guardian spirits known as Nats. Each Nat represents a powerful, often tragic figure, warriors, martyrs, and those who died with injustice. Their stories live on in myth and in devotion. To reach the summit, pilgrims must climb more than 700 steps, ascending through shaded stairways lined with shrines, monkeys, and offerings. Locals believe this temple holds protective power, shielding those who make the climb with sincere hearts. A place of mystery and reverence, Tongkalit connects the mortal world with the unseen realm of spirits, where history, myth, and faith rise together toward the sky.
8. Futel Monastery, India, Zanskar region, Himalayas.
Tucked deep within the remote cliffs of the Zanskar Valley, high in the Himalayas, is a monastery that seems to grow straight out of the rock, like a beehive built by human hands. This is Futel Monastery. Hidden inside a natural cave, it can only be reached by narrow mountain footpaths. There are no roads, no electricity, only silence and sky. The cave has been a sanctuary for meditation for over 2,000 years, a place once visited by ancient sages and scholars. At its heart lies a sacred spring, a source of water that has never run dry. Locals believe it holds spiritual cleansing powers, a gift of purity flowing in the most inaccessible of places. Futel is not just a monastery, it is a world apart, a hidden temple of peace where time stands still and the path to wisdom is carved into stone. If this journey moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the edge of the world.